Hello friends, this video on life processes part 21 is brought to you by examfear.com. No more fear from exam. So when we start with the closed circulatory system, even in closed circulatory system, it is different in different organisms. I mean the heart, which is the main pumping organ of the circulatory system, it looks different in different organisms. So let us start with the closed circulatory system of fishes. Let us see what kind of a circulatory system do fishes have. So fishes have two-chambered heart. What do we mean by two-chambered heart? So normally this pumping organ, that is heart, it is divided into chambers, or it is divided into room-like structures. So fishes have two chambers inside the heart. So what are these two chambers? The two chambers are called auricles and ventricles. So the fish's heart has one auricle and one ventricle. So what is auricle and what is ventricle, and why at all the heart is divided into chambers? The heart is divided into chambers in order to keep things more organized. So these auricles are the receiving chambers. That means the chamber which will receive blood. Ventricle is the chamber which will pump the blood. That means ventricle will release out the blood and auricle will receive the blood. Now I'll give you a small memory tip here to remember that which is the receiving chamber and which is the pumping chamber. So AIR, that is air, right? So AIR means auricle is receiving chamber. Similarly, VIP, that is ventricle is pumping chamber. So with like this you can remember that auricles are the receiving chambers and ventricles are the pumping chambers. So blood enters into the auricles and blood goes out from the ventricle. So in order to keep the incoming blood and the outgoing blood separate, the heart has been separated into two different types of chamber. So now, how the blood flow or how this transportation take place in case of fishes. Now before that, which is the organ which is present in fishes which is used for gaseous exchange? That means which is the respiratory organ in fishes? They do not have lungs, right? They have organs called gills. We have already spoken about gills in one of the previous slides. So what will happen here? So let us suppose, so I'll make a block diagram here. So these are the gills of the fishes. So what is the function of the gills? To absorb oxygen from water, because they are aquatic animals. So they will absorb oxygen from which is dissolved in water. So the gills will absorb this oxygen. Now what will the gills do? Now the blood, this oxygen will get dissolved in the blood. How? Inside the gills also, like how inside the lungs we saw that the oxygen which enters the lungs, it reaches the alveoli, then it is transferred to the capillaries. So that is how, that is in similar way, this oxygen which is absorbed by the gills, this oxygen is also passed to the blood. So now the blood is rich in oxygen. So this blood is known as oxygenated blood. What is oxygenated blood? Blood which is rich in oxygen. And what is deoxygenated blood? Deoxygenated blood is poor in oxygen. Poor in oxygen, or we can say it is rich in carbon dioxide. So till now we were talking about air, right? We were telling that good air contains lot of oxygen and bad air contains lot of carbon dioxide. Similarly, now we are going to talk about blood, because during transportation, whether it is oxygen or carbon dioxide, they get dissolved in blood. So the blood which is rich in oxygen, we say that is oxygenated blood. And the blood which is rich in carbon dioxide or which is poor in oxygen is called deoxygenated blood. So now once the gills absorb the oxygen, what kind of blood will come out of the gills? It will be oxygenated blood, but because it will have more of oxygen. So this is the good blood. So where will the good blood go? This good blood will go to the different parts of the body. So this is oxygenated blood. So this oxygenated blood from the gills will go to the different parts of the body. Correct? Now from in the different parts of the body, the process of respiration will take place. The cellular respiration will take place in each cell, and as a result carbon dioxide will be produced. Now each cell will want to get rid of that extra carbon dioxide, so that carbon dioxide will be sent back to the blood. So now the blood which will come from the body, the blood which is coming back from different parts of the body, that is rich in carbon dioxide. So that is deoxygenated blood. So let me denote the dotted line for deoxygenated blood. So deoxygenated blood will come out from the different parts of the body. So where will this blood go? Now this blood will go to the heart. Let us suppose this is the heart of the fish. So this deoxygenated blood will go to the heart. Where it will go? Now the heart is divided into two chambers, that is auricle and ventricle. Auricle is the receiving chamber, so it will receive the deoxygenated blood. Then the auricle will pass this deoxygenated blood into the ventricles, and then the ventricles will pass them to the gills again. So what will the gills do? The gills will again send the carbon dioxide to outside. So gills will send the carbon dioxide outside, and it will take in the oxygen, and again it will send oxygenated blood. So you can, in one way you can think of it like this, that gills are the organs which are actually converting deoxygenated blood into oxygenated blood. If you see here, deoxygenated blood is entering into the gills and oxygenated blood is coming out of the gills, right? I'm sorry, this should have been a dotted line. This is a dotted line. By mistake, I drew it a straight line. This is actually deoxygenated blood, right? So this is how the blood circulation takes place in case of fishes. Now the question is, now I already explained you why the heart is divided into chambers, to keep things segregated so that the blood coming in is kept separated from the blood going out. Also here we see that there is not much separation between the oxygenated and the deoxygenated blood. So if you see here, there is not much separation. So here the deoxygenated blood is going in, going out. Then the same blood is again becoming oxygenated. So it is like that. Now fishes are cold-blooded animals. Therefore, they do not need any extra energy for their maintenance of their temperature. So here blood leaves the gills and immediately circulate to the body. Therefore, we do not need to add more chambers than two. That is why heart has only two chambers here. So these are the organisms which have least number of chambers in the heart. As we go ahead with reptiles, amphibians, they have 3-chambered heart. When we go ahead with human beings, they have 4-chambered heart. The fishes have only 2-chambered heart, because in this case we see that as soon as the blood comes out from the gills, it is immediately circulated to the body. So it doesn't go anywhere else for any other process. So that is why we do not really need much additional chambers. So that is why fishes have only 2-chambered heart. So it is clear how the circulation takes place in case of fishes. Let us now see another important thing, that here only one time, it was just once that in one cycle of circulation the blood passed through the heart. So this is one cycle of circulation, and in one cycle the blood passed through the heart only once. That is why this is known as single circulation. Thank you. Please visit www.examfear.com to watch more videos, attempt free online test, get free study material, find tutors and mentors. Thank you once again.